Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is Sunita Gladys Kanaka from Punvidyashram. Good morning, students. How are you? Hope each and every one of you are keeping fine and safe. Welcome to the English class. Today, I am going to take the fifth lesson, India at Play. When we think of sports, games like cricket, football, and tennis come to mind. Games have been a part of life in India since time immemorial. Many games have originated in India and some are being reinvented today. The Pro Kabaddi League has brought Kabaddi out of the shadow, while the Indian Premier League has doubled the enthusiasm for cricket. The sporting scene in India is vibrant today as we experiment with the old and create new and exciting possibilities. We rarely think of games such as Kabaddi, Gilli Danda, and Kit Kit, though they have been with us for centuries and are played enthusiastically in almost every village and city of India. What are these games? Where do they come from? And what do they mean to us? Let's read on. This is a documentary on the ancient and modern games of India. In the history of humankind, sports has always played an important role, both as a source of amusement means entertainment, and a means of keeping the mind and body fit. In ancient India, as with many ancient civilizations, it was not enough to gain knowledge. The health and fitness of one's body was equally important. Long before India had embraced cricket and football, games such as kite flying, kabaddi, and kho-kho, to name a few, were played both by kings and commoners. Commoners means common people. These games do not boast of having sports stars like Sachin Tendulkar or MC Mary Kom, but they are immensely popular even today. Interestingly, the earliest forms of some of these games existed even before the Mahabharata was written. It means in ancient days, human, along with gaining knowledge, gave importance to health and fitness by engaging themselves in playing different kinds of games like kabaddi, kho-kho, and kite flying. Kho-kho is one such example, a game of great agility. Agility means swiftness and alertness. In ancient times. It was played on raths or chariots and was known as Rathera. In its modern version, a chaser from one team tries to touch an opponent from the other team to get them out. The chaser may pass his or her task to a teammate sitting on the central line made on a rectangular field by touching the teammate's back and shouting, "Ko." The team that takes the shortest time to dismiss its rivals wins. Now, watch a small video on kho-kho.
Kho-kho. Kho-kho is a popular traditional Indian game. It demands both physical fitness and strategy. Kho-kho is played on a rectangular court with a line drawn lengthwise across the center and two poles stuck in the ground on each end. There are two teams with 9 players each. The two teams are called a chasing team and a defending team. Do you want to know how to play kho-kho? The first step of playing kho-kho is the chasing team entering the court. 8 out of the 9 players sit on the center line, all evenly spaced. The players alternately face opposite directions, away from the center line. The 9th player, who is the chaser, stands next to a pole. Second, 3 defenders from the defending team enter the court. The chaser tries to capture them by tagging them. Third, the defenders can cross the center line to run from the chaser. However, the chaser cannot do so. Also, the chaser may run in one direction only. Once he has started running, he cannot turn around. In order for him to change directions, he must run to a pole and around it. The chaser can switch positions with a teammate by touching a sitting teammate on the back and shouting, "Ko!" The new chaser pursues defenders on the half of the court he was facing. When all 3 defenders are captured, 3 more defenders enter the court. The game ends when all 9 defenders have been captured. Then the team's roles are reversed. The team that captures all 9 defenders the fastest wins.
Another game of touching and dismissing opponents is Kabaddi. It is said to have originated from the Mahabharata incident of Abhimanyu getting trapped in a Chakravayuha created by his enemies. Kabaddi is a game of breath control, raiding and dodging. Raiding means getting into the area of the opposing team, and dodging is the quick movement. A player raids the opposing team, tries to touch an opponent and return to his or her team, all the while chanting Kabaddi, Kabaddi, Kabaddi and holding the breath. At the Asian Games so far, India has always won gold in Kabaddi. Children, do you know that Kabaddi is the state sport of Tamil Nadu? Here, this paragraph is an explanation of how the game Kabaddi is played. A moment to cherish is that India has always won gold in Kabaddi. Another popular sport dating back to the ancient times is wrestling. The Mahabharata mentions Duryodhana and Bhima as accomplished wrestlers. That means expert wrestlers. The most famous freestyle version of wrestling in India is Gusti, which symbolizes bravery and strength. Pahalwans or wrestlers generally practice in akharas or wrestling schools, and dangals, annual village competitions, decide a new champion every year. Many Indian wrestlers such as Sushil Kumar, Geeta Phagot and Babita Kumari have gained international fame and become the face of Indian wrestling. Here it says, wrestling was also an important sport in those days. The expert wrestlers in the Mahabharata were Duryodhana and Bhima. The most famous freestyle wrestling in India is known as Gusti. Dangals, that is the annual village competition held to decide a new champion every year. Have you heard of the American movie Dangals, children? It is about wrestling. The famous faces of Indian wrestlers are Sushil Kumar, Geeta and Babita Phagot. In India, sports also has a role in the celebration of festivals. Kite flying or patangbazi, played passionately by the nobility during medieval times. Nobility means high-rank people in the olden times. Now marks many joyous occasions in India. The International Kite Festival is held every year in Gujarat during Makar Sankranti. On 15th August, the sky is dotted with kites as people celebrate Independence Day. Kite battles are also held where one kite flyer entangles or twists the string of his or her kite around another's and tries to cut it. Here we can see how sports is related to famous Indian festivals. In Gujarat, during Makara Sankranti, the International Kite Festival is held. Likewise, Jallikattu is held during Pongal in Tamil Nadu and boat race is held during Onam in Kerala. Some games are played for pure enjoyment. Gilli Danda, for example. It is said to have originated during the Mauryan period. It is similar to cricket but uses a gilli, a small piece of wood tapered at the ends, and the danda, a short stick. The gilli is hit with the danda, and if the fielding team succeeds in catching the gilli, the striker is out. Else, the distance between the striking point and where the gilli lands is measured with the danda. The team with the highest score wins. A very popular game among children in rural India. It is also played in Nepal as Dandi Biyo and in Iraq as Alak Dolak. Here it says that some games are played just for our enjoyment. For example, Gilli Danda. It is similar to cricket and it is a very popular game among children in the rural India. Another game popular among children is Kit Kit or Stapu. Simple yet tricky, it tests the player's skill at balancing and aiming. A numbered grid is drawn on the ground. A player has to toss a stone or a marker on a numbered square and hop on one leg from one end of the grid to the other and back again without losing balance. This continues till the player reaches the last square and completes the lap successfully. The game is played as hopscotch in England and escargot in France. Then here, a game popular among children was Kit Kit. It is known as hopscotch in England and escargot in France. This game tests the balancing and aiming skills. Most of these games require the full involvement of one's body and mind. However, a game like chess can only be won with the strategies of a sharp mind. Strategies means master plan. Today, India prides itself on the feats of former world chess champion Vishwanathan Anand and Grandmaster Koneru Hampi. Incidentally, the pride also lies in the fact that the game is said to have originated in India. Ancient texts like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata call the game Chaduranga. According to the Persian poet Firdausi, an Indian king sent a Chaduranga board to the king of Persia, from where the game spread to the rest of the world. Here, it says that we need a sharp mind to play chess or Chaduranga. In our country, we have a world chess champion, Vishwanathan Anand, and Grandmaster Hampi. A moment to cherish to be a proud Indian is that chess is said to have originated in India. How do you feel, children? These traditional games are a significant part of our cultural heritage. Significant means notable and heritage means background. So these traditional games are a significant part of our cultural heritage. We play them to exercise our body and mind, to test our agility and skill, and most importantly, to have fun. But these games also contain in them the spirit of our history. They may not inspire the kind of frenzy, that is, great excitement, that games like cricket easily do, but they carry forward our legacy, that is, our tradition, and give us our identity. Here it says that we play all these games to exercise our body and mind, to test our skills, and last but not the least, to have fun. Here ends part 1 of India at Play. Hope you enjoyed and understood the lesson. Thank you for watching. Bye from Sunita Gladys Kanaka. Thank you.